Back to the Bread and Butter TV studio, streaming live here at the Melbourne Italian Festa, right here in the heart of Little Italy in Lygon Street at the Argyle Square, which you can see behind us here now. You might even be able to hear some of the music that's coming from the stage over there, and I wish you could smell the beautiful Italian food smells that are wafting into our studio right now. But it's my pleasure to introduce a very important fellow. Right?
Oh, indeed.
Nicholas Carre is a member of the Italian Parliament representing not just Australia but also Asia and Oceania and Africa. So he's basically the Italian government's man on the ground here, and he's here at the Italian Festa here in Melbourne. So welcome to the Bread and Butter studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Wendy.
It's really exciting to see Melbourne back having a festival again.
Indeed, especially having an Italian festival representing all this wonderful community in Melbourne, which is the most populous community all around Australia. I think integrated to the extreme, because there is a second and third generation of really working their way through to be the so-called the new Australians, not that new, but Australians. I am actually a new Australian, as you probably tell by my wonderful English accent here.
Oh, yeah, it's not English. You've got a bit of an Aussie twang going there.
Yes, indeed. No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be here, and it's fantastic. And actually, I was very pleased, as I said to the President, Luca Scribani Rossi, and Secretary General is doing a wonderful job. John Giovanni, because he likes to be Giovanni these days, Giovanni Caniglia, and congratulations, and obviously also to the State Government of Victoria and to the City Council of Melbourne, to giving the Italians this great opportunity. You're doing an amazing job because you're interviewing all the very important people. Not so much me, because I actually am Melbourneian. I came here many centuries ago, and so actually I like Melbourne. My children were born here, they're still here. My grandchild was born here 2 months ago.
Oh, congratulations.
And I lived in Sydney now for about, let's not count.
Let's not talk about Sydney.
Count,
Like it's like, no, irrelevant.
So Melbourne is fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Sydney,
I come
no
here
Sydney.
and it's fantastic to have a conglomerate of all the Italian excellence here, from excellences from Alfa Romeo to Beretta to all the food representatives, but mainly these wonderful people. These wonderful people, I notice a lot of youngsters as well. They come in here and they're getting integrated again. And you mentioned before that you did an amazing job in getting this festa going, and obviously well done to all of you. And I was very proud to actually see these representations again here, because it's been many years now that
Speaking of many years, let me wind back the clock a little bit.
Yes.
Did you come to the Italian Festa in Melbourne many years ago when you first came here?
Yes, of course.
Tell me what it was like. Tell me your fondest memories of the Italian Festa.
I think the fondest memories was the first generation present everywhere, and there was a lot of Italian food, the old food, and they spoke a lot of Italians, but modern Italians spoke a lot of dialect. Could have been Veneto or Calabrian or from Napolitan. And these days it's different, because you can see a lot of the second generation, so perhaps the first so-called Italian generation, the young people that came here after the 90s. So it's amazing what you see. So I'm very happy, because obviously you have a different representation of cultures, because Italy, as you know, has changed in all these years. And you bring in here not anymore those people that came here to work, is that needed to work, and so they actually work very hard. And you have a new way of thinking, and by thinking it's not that the old one was wrong, but actually was
We all have to
fond and
evolve.
wonderful. But society has evolved. That's why it's wonderful to see all this. And I would like to show all this to the Italians in Italy, because they still think that the Italians abroad are that generation that come here with a little box and come out and work very hard, which they did, and they had major issues of discriminations, which they did, but these days it doesn't happen anymore, especially in this country, I reckon. And I think it's one of the better organized, if not the best, multicultural. We don't call it multicultural anymore. I think it's a diverse type of society, type of society anywhere in the world. And I'm very proud that I spent the last 40 years here in Australia.
I'm very proud to be an Australian.
Yes,
I think it's a great place to be.
It is a great. This doesn't take anything to our, let's call it, anthropologic roots. in Italy.
But I still like to think of myself as an honorary Italian living here in Carlton.
Lovely to be an honorary Italian living in Carlton. How many years have you lived
20
here?
years.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. I'm
So
almost
you've
a
seen
local.
all the evolution
Yeah, I have.
from Carlton, and then the Italians here, then they saw not so many Italians, and now it's back. I think it's got a different vibes. I came here 2 weeks ago and I actually felt a different vibes here in this part of
What do you mean by different vibes?
Well, I think when I lived here, Carlton was a strong point of reference for Italy. And then when I used to come, sometimes not many Italians come around. Of those Italians that come around, perhaps I didn't do justice to a suburb to Carlton. And now all of a sudden there's this new energy. That's what I felt. I could be wrong, I don't think so. But it's this new energy, even with the restaurants. And this is amazing because it's happening through this COVID situation. Maybe the perception on life has changed, and if it has changed, maybe that's what we see in the future. A lot more sort of a relationship with a point of reference where it's the point that you're earth or where you live, and instead of going somewhere else.
No, and harken back to some tradition too.
Indeed,
like people want to feel rooted in a tradition. Right?
Yes, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. And in the beautiful part about being an Australian is that the young or the Australians here, they want to be part of this as well. It doesn't matter if they're Italians or they're Greeks or anything, they really embrace all these traditions without taking their own traditions, because it's wonderful. It's changing the society, but the fact that they're embracing in such a wonderful way, it means that the Australian has changed, keeping that sort of a connection with let's call it the mainland, but at the same time has changed to be a real Australian with this diversified global society.
Yeah. Well, the only way is up, right?
The only way is up, correct.
And we're going to see a lot more festivals here because I've had
so.
the Honourable Lily D'Ambrosio promise me that she's going to push through the state government to get more festivals in Carlton, including her specialty, which is the Melzani Festival.
Oh,
She wants
amazing.
a Melzani
Oh,
Festival.
yes,
So she
indeed.
knows a member of Parliament wants it. So you're a member of Parliament,
Yes.
Italian Parliament here in Australia.
Yes, indeed.
What festival would you like to see?
Any festival, as long as it has an Italian sort of tradition.
Come on, what would be
I'm
your
happy.
favourite? Choose an Italian specialty that you would like. Pizza, cannoli. What would it be?
A fun festival. I don't care if it is
Fun?
Pepsi. Yes.
Dancing. Okay, we're Italian
Dancing
dancing.
as well. Exactly right. Of course, with the pizza, the cannoli, and everything else that goes with it.
Yeah.
But having fun, as
No,
usual.
that's the best way to be.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Wonderful.
It's been my pleasure to have you in the Bread and Butter studio. And thank you for tuning in. My name's Wendy Hargreaves, tuning in here live from the Melbourne Italian Festa. I'll be back very soon with another Italian personality to talk about what the Italian culture here in Melbourne means to them. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Ciao.
Ciao. Arrivederci.